And this time, we're going to be doing a panel on the wacky magazine Alice Deco, which, gosh, it's going to be a real walk down memory lane for the two of us because I think this is when we were first like getting really active in like the EGL live journal community.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm just really, really excited to share all of this fun stuff that I was able to dig up. So yeah, let's get this going. We're gonna explain it a little bit more to you, and yeah.
Yeah, and I won't keep doing these hand motions, promise.
So I'm actually very glad that we can see my cursor because there's gonna be a lot of like smaller images that I'm gonna have to like point at. But yeah, this is us. I'm Avina. I use they, them pronouns. This is my Instagram and Twitter. My Twitter is currently locked, but feel free to just request it and I will like add you. It's just because retweeting is irritating and I was just like, I'm tired of being retweeted when I don't want to be retweeted. So I just locked it for a bit. Go ahead.
And I'm Simone or Purist Maiden. Those are my Instagram and my Twitter. I don't know. I'm here. That's all I have to say about me.
Yay!
So,
and here's some photo credits. All of our scans were done by the visual-beast on LiveJournal, and they were downloaded from lolitahistory.com, which I highly recommend if you just want to peruse issues of Alice Deco during or after this panel, whenever you want. It's a really great resource.
And even if you're into so it's run by one of our friends who we love, and she also has an incredible collection of like 80s and 90s J fashion magazines. So if you're interested in like fashion history or like really old issues of Fruits or like, I don't know, like old knitting books from the 80s, she has those on her website. Incredible. Cannot recommend them enough. Also, shout out to the Visual Beast for scanning so many incredible things. Back in the day, they were really a real one.
I definitely remember adding their like live journal. Because like back then you had to like add everybody as a, or no, you could like follow someone but not be friends. But anyways, I did whatever the equivalent of following someone is. Yes, you do qualify for veterans discount. And
AP gives you free shipping.
It's just incredible. Like their account was so good. They used to find like they used to receive issues of like Kera and GLB and scan them almost immediately. And they also did a really great job of like helping you find your own copies. So they never did like the skeevy thing of just being like, I'm gonna upload these super HD scans and these publications won't make money. They like purposely didn't make them like super, super high quality, and they always like shared links on where to purchase those magazines for yourself. So going forward, you will notice that these scans are like a little fuzzy. They could be a little bit better, but that's completely purposeful because we want to try and encourage people to buy the actual magazine.
Yeah, even though it's out of print, you can find it on like Frill and Mercari for like $5 an issue. It's super easy. So anyways, so what is Alice Deco? Avina,
I'll let you take this slide because you're more about history.
Okay, so Alice Deco was originally it started off as a single issue mook published in the spring of 2008. And mook is like a Japanese term for like a combination of a magazine and a book. And usually it's like a little bit bigger than a magazine. The paper quality is a little bit nicer. And it's meant to be almost like a display item or a photo book, not just a standard magazine that you flip through once and throw away. A great example of a mook that you probably have seen is the Gothic and Lolita Bible, actually. It's part style Bible, but also just part like gorgeous kind of eye candy. And then it was published by InForest in association with GLP. And they, have you ever read anything from them? Because
InForest nowadays does a lot of like sewing mooks.
I was going to say, I think they do. Not the Boutique Shah does the Otome no sewing, but they do a lot of like mainstream sewing mooks. So
yeah, so that's kind of the background. I can't remember the intricacies of GLP, but I think they were like an umbrella, like alternative fashion kind of group.
So
like,
when you say GLP, my brain immediately goes to Gothic Lolita Punk, that eBay Gothic brand for like an extreme throwback. Pew pew.
Yep. I thought about that too. I was like, I found this on their now defunct Amiiblo
Oh,
blog.
Emmy blog. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, wait, this is not Gothic Lolita Bible.
So it's
Yes.
not the Gothic Lolita Bible. They are like a publishing group. They do seem to focus primarily like on alternative fashion stuff, but beyond that, it's not.
I don't really know like who's behind it. They don't seem to actually be associated with a lot of the more like existing popular stuff right now. But I put that factoid in there for really no reason whatsoever.
This whole panel is a veterans. Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys like want to know all the tricks for like getting the secret like Lolita veterans discount,
Oh yeah.
we gotcha. All right, so that was that's how Alice Deco started, but then it was popular, and then there came
A
a
la
la
mode.
mode.
And this had 4 issues.
Yeah.
And it was unceremoniously canceled. And I say this because you can find comments on EGL where people were saying like, "Oh, my friends are going to be in the next issue," and then I never was able to see if they published another issue. And then
Like they
people
took
did some.
street snaps and
Mhm.
model snaps and everything.
And they also took like reader submissions. We'll go into that a bit more, but
Yeah,
yeah, like it looked like there was going to be a 5th issue, and then suddenly just never made it out there.
yeah.
So it was supposed to be published 3 times a year, um, and so this is I think from left to right. It's
From
spring,
1 to 4.
summer, autumn 2009, and then spring 2010. Um, so that's about how long this magazine ran for. It's like this little slice of like Lolita
Yeah.
history, and it's just so great to look back on.
Yeah, it was only 2 years, but I think, for, like Athena said earlier, it was when both of us were like really getting like seriously involved in the fashion, and so I think for both of us, it had a very outsized influence. I think.
And I think what's important to note too is that up until this point, like it was kind of Gothic Lolita Bible in terms of like Lolita centric publications. Like that was it. That was all you had. And I mean, I think with like Simone's like old school panel, she shared some scans from those early issues of the GLB, but they're very different than what we're going to be seeing in Alice Deco,
Yeah.
and refreshingly so.
Yeah, even in like the 2008 to 2010 period, the GLB had a very specific look. Like the GLB has always historically been very brand driven. It works very closely with the big Lolita brands like Innocent World, Alice and the Pirates, Baby, Angelic Pretty, etc. And not only to feature their ads, but they feature, these brands' items styled in the way that the brands want them to. And so the brands are really setting the trends. Alice Deco was a huge shift because they moved away from the brand setting the trends, and the magazine itself was trying to create and inspire people to style in new ways. Athena, you're muted.
I noticed that right as I said something. I was like, yeah.
And I was like, Athena, we gotta hear ya. Come back.
I just said absolutely. Like it's just hyping. So we got some FAQs when I was like kind of asking around like what are things that you want to know more about Alice Deco, and I realized that a lot of folks thought that Alice Deco was like some sort of substyle, and that's not the case at all. It was literally just a publication that like encouraged Lolitas to try and do something new with what was in their existing wardrobe. Sometimes they did spotlight like brand new releases, but a lot of the time they were using lots of like random off-brand stuff, things provided by the models to like put some like fun new outfits together. So and we already touched on this, but the GLB was more about like strict advertising for the brand. So you would see head to toe Angelic Pretty, Baby, Innocent World coordinates, whereas Alice Deco was constantly like mixing and matching all kinds of different brands and off-brand accessories to kind of create their own thing.
Yeah, I think I would describe it like, for the most part in Lolita, we have an attitude where if you buy off-brand, the goal is to make it look like something brand, or to look like something that is Lolita. Alice Deco kind of flipped that on its head, and like the goal was to work visibly non-Lolita items into Lolita coordinates to create something new and outside of the look that, the brands are pushing in the GLB with the head to toe matching sets.
So here's a great example of what Alice Deco styling was like.
The
They
boots,
would
iconic.
Oh my gosh, this is like one of my favorite. Like, why are they posing in front of an empty closet?
Yeah, also all of the photo shoots in Alice Deco are like at like a defunct high school for some reason, or like in like a weird house. Like it's so mystifying, but incredible, like truly incredible.
I loved it so much. Like they were very focused on creating not only like really over the top styling, but things that you could wear day to day. And again, like I feel like now they're like there is still this weird like, oh, if it's too casual, if there's no petticoat, it's like no
And that's
longer Lolita.
Lolita.
And this was kind of like the first time like we like the Western community was able to like point at something and be like, see, it could still like you could still wear Lolita in this way and like still wear something comfortable. Like Alice Deco did it, and like Alice Deco was used as like a counter argument for that sort of like belief.
Yeah.
So
And this
yeah.
one, like specifically, is a spread about. I don't know why I remember this one very vividly, but it had a real impact on me. This spread in particular was about casual coordinates with no petticoat, and so it took like Lolita jumper skirts and specifically styled them without the traditional bell shape that we think of as Lolita.
And like you can see here, this is literally just a hoodie with like the front pocket just pulled over an Innocent World JSK and some cute little like lace up like sneaker boot hybrid sorts of
These
things.
boots, I love them.
Incredible. Like I think she's wearing a sleeping cap, like those little like eye masks here.
No, so that is one of those. Remember those extra wide knit headbands that were super popular?
Oh, is
It
that what that is?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like one
god.
of those like extra wide headbands that she like pushed back a little bit because it was. I remember those were super popular in like Gyaru at the time. So she has like that little flippy bob and then the big headband.
So good. And that's one thing actually, a good segue. A lot of Alice Deco like hairstyling and makeup was like directly inspired by Gyaru trends in a way that a lot of Lolita publications weren't really that interested in doing. Like I think for the most part, like Lolita makeup tutorials, even in this era, were like the same like natural makeup with like a subdued lip color and a little bit of gloss. But they went all out with this, and there are makeup tutorials in Alice Deco, and they do like lean more to the Gyaru side, but not quite so over the top. Where like I don't know, it didn't have like the tanning aspect or like the 5 layers of like eyelashes aspect, but it was getting there. It was
Yeah,
close.
it was like maybe not the makeup you might have seen in like Ageha or Egg, but in some of the more like toned down Gyaru inspired magazines instead. And the GLB did kind of eventually start to pick up on that trend, but that wasn't until after Alice Deco had stopped publishing in 2010 for the most part. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and and the last one, they also involved the community. Not only did they run like they ran like model contests, they did like kind of street snaps, which are like they tell people to come and like line up so they could take pictures of their best Alice Deco coordinates. And they had a very popular Amoeba blog where they encouraged people to submit ideas and interact. And they collaborated with a bunch of other Amoeba services. Like they did this huge collaboration with Poupee Girl, which
We'll
rip.
get into it. I have a whole slide about that. Cool.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm ahead of myself. Okay. Anyways, pretend I didn't.
No, it's totally fine. This is gonna give people a teaser for the Poupee
Yeah.
Girl
So
collab.
they did like a huge club with Poupee Girl that was like half just straight up Lolita items from that had been released recently from brands, and then half just kind of normal items. So yeah.
Oh, Alice Deco. What a time.
I know. God, I miss Poupee Girl. Sorry, I'm all up in my feels now.
I know. Poupee Girl's a surefire way to make us sad. It's just
Yeah.
mentioning its closure.
I know, especially because now on this slide I recognize one of the Poupee coordinates, and I'm like,
Yeah. So this was actually, I really wanted to spotlight this spread here on the right. I think this might be kind of the most iconic one that a lot of people think of. This was kind of what started this idea for Mori Girl, like Lolita mashups. I'm sure people tried to do like or did do it before, but like I feel like this was the spread that like made people think, oh, I like this. This could really work. And so this is like this one here is like a Baby the Stars Shine Bright Shantung dress, and then this is an Innocent World dress. They've put like different robes on top of it, put underskirts underneath, like paired it with some fun like vintage scarves and hats, and just really went in on like changing up the silhouette, like refreshing the look and making it feel like very mori.
Yeah, like the outer is I only know this because Poupee. The outer is like a long velour robe, and then there's a chiffon underskirt underneath, like with a little collar on top to completely. The Innocent World dress is like square neck, standard Lolita jumper skirt with like a little bustle. So they completely like changed up the look from fancy Victorian doll to possible Victorian bag lady.
Yes, incredible. And Dolly Kay was like kind of bubbling underneath the surface. I don't think Grimoire was like extremely popular at this
I
point.
think this was actually right before Grimoire opened.
Yeah, this might have been right before that. So, and you know, stores tend to open because they notice a trend. So it like this gives you a good idea of like what like some early like Dolly K kind of outfits like what that vibe would be. I cannot. I think the dress is Oxentrique or the corset is. I'm not sure which one.
The I think both are actually Oxentrique.
And I
I
do see Atepi, Atelier Pierrot, like credited for something, but I'm not sure what
I
because
think
the
the
text
shoes
is
are
so
Atelier
small.
actually, or it might be. I was going to say it also might be the corset and the dress because Eccentrique was sold at Atelier Pierrot while they were still open.
That's true.
So yeah,
That could be it.
and the
But
hat. Most of these hats were vintage. That was kind of their big thing is they had a heavy focus on working in like vintage furs and hats and jackets and stuff like that. And so almost all the hats you see in these issues are going to be like vintage.
yeah, and I feel like this also started, like I know for me at this point I'd already been kind of looking around vintage stores for things, but I definitely went like all out when I realized like how cute vintage hats looked with Lolita. I used to be so weird about any sort of headgear when I was younger. Like I just like I was so picky, but I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can like find this cute vintage pillbox hat and like work it into my outfit.
Yeah, I still have like so many hats that I bought in this era.
Oh yeah. Here's some more. So I can go on for ages about this outfit on the far left. Um, this is like Alice and the Pirates' gathered chiffon, which was my like ultimate dream dress back then. And I, in lavender, so this is the Sax blue color. But I was so obsessed with this dress, and I always felt like, oh, I shouldn't like have it in my wardrobe because it's not really like very sweet. Like it doesn't lean like to the sweeter like style motifs that I liked. But I had a mind blown moment because I totally owned this is a 6% Doki Doki bow. I already had owned this bow. And this was like something that I had been like watching on Fairy Angel when it went up. And I was just like, oh, I can do something like kind of over the top. I can put like this fun little belt. I can pair it with like some fun boots and like create an outfit that's like sweeter than what people are used to when they look at this specific dress. So this was kind of like the one of those like aha moments for me looking at
I
Alice Deco.
I feel like for me it was the other coordinate that did it because that was like my look in college which is when like Alice Deco came out for me, where it was like the writer's jacket over an AP print with some striped socks and some boots. Like that was my uniform. I wore it every day, and like seeing these types of spreads was like so inspirational because it was like, oh, I don't have to buy a Lolita shoes, which is I have a giant foot, so it's hard. Everybody who else has a big foot will understand. And this was like the first time I was like, oh, those boots, I can do it. And it was like a mind blown moment for me too. But I mean, Avina, my love of boots is well documented.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the patchwork
absolutely.
boots in these second image too is just like,
Incredible. I so this image I put in because I just love that this is just a petticoat that's been pinned to the side of a very like or actually no, it's a petticoat worn over a very
and then like
typical
pinned
old
up, right?
school, yeah, baby like or it looks like it's Alice and the Pirates jumper
Yeah.
skirt. And they've just pinned it up with like a bunch of like big bows and paired it with some like leggings and called it a day. And I loved it. I had a similar rainbow petticoat that after that I was like, oh, I'm gonna slap this over
Yeah,
my dresses.
I'm pretty sure you did this coordinate.
I did, yes. I probably just essentially did this. I've definitely pinned like petticoats to my side as well because
Yeah.
of this specific coordinate.
So, and I think, and the other thing that I think is notable about a lot of these shoots, if you look in the GLB, most of the shoots are about the brand. It's like, here's, Star Night Theater, and here's, Pup in a Cup, or, whatever like the print name is, and the focus is on how are you styling this print. And Alice Deco, the focus, they would take like particular items and style them with Lolita. So if you look on the like side with the petticoat and corset and the patchwork boot chaos, it's like coordinating, how to coordinate like a black one piece. And that was like the focus. Or there was the spread with the Star Night Theater and Gathered Chiffon on the left. That was a spread about working boots into your Lolita coordinates. And there's like the rest of the page is just different boots that you can wear with Lolita.
I
And so
also think it's really cool that they say dekorori down here
yeah,
because I want to say dekoro, like the term dekorori, like became even more popular after this
yeah. Like this
edition.
is like a couple years before the GLB is really into like decolori, twin tail wigs, boop boop, pew pew.
Yeah, yeah. This is kind of like the beginning. I have so
Yeah.
many of these like exact accessories still, like
I
this
still
up
have the
here.
fuzzy star clip.
Yeah, I still have Fuzzy Star clip, the Choco Mint clips, so good. One of my favorite things that they would do is the seven pieces, seven ways. It's exactly what it sounds like. They would pick out seven pieces, so you can see them all here, and they would coordinate it seven different ways. So it was like encouraging you to use a limited number of clothing for a whole week. This was just like mind blowing for me. I just saw all these like fun new layer things. Um, like how much a belt can change a dress. So like here, these are both the same dress, but one is paired with like a thick or a wide waist belt. Um, Here they tied this like lime green card or this green cardigan that's like up here around their waist just to add interest. Like it's just it was so much fun. Not every coordinate is like a hit, but like it definitely made you rethink what was already in your wardrobe.
Yeah, and I think also, one of my favorite things about Alice Deco is that not every chord is a hit because, like, honestly, that's like how it is in real life. Like I'll come up with like 20 chords and like maybe like three of them are bangers and like most of them are fine and like two really suck, and I think Alice Deco for me, it was like very instrumental in showing me like, oh, like you can be a little imperfect and that's okay. And it's okay to try and maybe fail and keep trying anyways, because the point is like having fun and enjoying yourself. Because like, you know, that's what it's all about.
I
So
definitely like even though these are shoots that are like very what's the word?
styled, prepared.
Like they're yeah, they're very styled. Like technically these are models and they're all wearing like nice makeup and they had a hairstylist. There's still like this everyday feeling to the outfits that I don't think the GLB has ever really tackled.
Yeah, like these are outfits that I would wear like to go get dinner with, like the outfit with the little like arm warmers and the ankle socks and the curly hair. Like I've worn that outfit to go hang out with my friends before, whereas like the GLB is more this like photo shoot perfection. Like, you know, maybe I hit once every 5 years if I'm lucky.
Yeah, it's just so nice. Oh, I think I also owned this jumper skirt back then. Being reminded of my early wardrobe.
Yeah.
So
That
this was
was
such a fun series of spreads. It was about like space idols. So they're all supposed to be like idol groups, and like one's like the plaid tartan idol group, and the other one's the polka dot idol group. It's so
oh my
cute, and
god.
like basically the challenge was like to just see all the different ways you can incorporate this sort of pattern into your outfits, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and this I think Alice Deco too did a lot of like mixing patterns or mixing colors that like were not common. Like you can see on the tartan side, they've got this like hot pink fedora girl, like iconic. incredible. Like over on on Team Polka Dot side, there's the girl with her little headscarf and her sunglasses and her hot pink set, and then her friend with the like hot pink whatever the fuck's on her head and a mint petticoat. Like, man,
This Alice Deco was like, petticoats are too cute to hide them. Like you will show your petticoat. Like that was like a big styling point for Alice Deco was, oh, like you're going through like all this effort to find like this cute, fluffy, colorful petticoat. But like, oh gosh. I'm just
yeah. So I think Alice, yeah. So go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I like the way they encourage you not only to mix it up, but to truly like show off every aspect of your outfit is like, I think it makes it so even when an outfit that they put together is relatively simple and like doesn't have that many moving parts in practice, it looks super detailed and put together and well thought out. So, yeah.
Trying to, there we go. So just more spreads. I just wanted to put as much of this magazine as I could in front of everyone's eyeballs. Another like favorite spread for me.
Yeah, this was just like they would do these little spreads where it was just like Lolitas, show us your style, and they would just like photograph like 10 random people's style. And you know, some of these like range from like the girl down in the front like maybe looks more traditional at first glance, but she's actually wearing like a bunch of hime pieces with her coordinate. And then, you know, there's to the girl on the left with her little yellow tights who's like got this really cool like pop punk mood.
Oh, Alice Deco did such a great job. Like I love like this like early like triple fortune kind of outfit back here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my favorite honestly is this one near the front where
Oh,
lots of
Snow
like
Bunny's girl.
patterned, yes, and this like vintage leather bag with like cute flowers on it and these awesome like yellow. They're not quite Doc Martens, but they look like them.
Yeah.
I just loved this particular outfit. Like these all felt like things that I would wear just doing regular like everyday stuff. Whereas like the GLB was like, oh, this is what I'd wear. It's like a really nice like decadent event.
Yeah, like these were, and I think too, like the thing to me that was a bit revelatory about Alice Deco is it like looking at these coordinates, you know, you look at the GLB and it's like, oh, I've got to go buy 5 things to like even have a prayer of looking like the model. These, it's like, oh, these are things I already own or that like I bought from Forever 21 last year or whatever. You know, not to endorse fast fashion, but just, you know, like in the sense of these were things that I had in my closet that were easily accessible. And it was less aspirational and more of like, okay, I can do that.
Here's some more outfits.
Oh my God.
Just
Okay, so the layering of that meta dress with the open-toed shoes, powerful, powerful.
like this. I think this is like another dress or a skirt just poking out underneath, so you
Yeah,
can see the border print on that. This one always like blows my mind because it's like this vintage like can dress I think, and they just slapped like some I don't know my Gothic Lolita brands very well. This is Moitié, right?
yeah,
Or
it's
is
one
it
of them.
ATP?
No, that's Moitié. It's like, it's not Iron Gate, it's the other, it's like Church Gate or Gothic Arch or one of those fucking, you know.
Yeah, they just slapped the
Sorry,
skirt
Moitié
on over
fans.
it.
Avina and I are, Moitié is fine.
Moitié is good.
Yeah.
It's
So,
fine.
yeah,
This
yeah,
train
Moitié is,
conductor outfit here where she's wearing 2 hats.
uh, the 2 hats thing was really a big deal for me. Like, you buy 2 vintage hats and you slap them on, you look like a model, right? That's how modeling is.
Incredible. Also, I think this might be like a cat headdress or something with a boater hat on top.
Oh my God. And I also love the 2 girls on the end. The one in pink is just wearing like a vintage dress over like a Lolita blouse. And I think that was the other thing that was really cool about Alice Deco is like it wasn't always like Lolita main piece with, you know, other items. Sometimes it was totally random main piece that we got at a thrift store with you know, like some Lolita socks or whatever.
What's
Um,
wild about that is actually it's got two blouses. There's a like a lavender gingham blouse over a white long sleeved, like more Lolita specific blouse.
so now we see where Avena got their style.
That's my style. And also this like denim like crop top that's been tied up, also
Yeah,
huge
so now we see where I
inspiration.
got my style.
So yeah, the Alice Deco is great.
Mhm. Yeah, the
Also meme
boots.
templates.
Oh my God. Yeah, Alice Deco was really had some fucking banging like
Like I feel like I've seen this so many times with like someone else like putting like another word bubble up here. Um I One of my favorite things about Alice Deco is that like the models aren't like, lovelies. Like they're not like these little like pretty princesses or anything like that. You would totally see outtakes like this all the time. Like you can kind of see it right here, but like it's like this cute behind the scenes shot where like the model is just like like grinning at the camera while like some hairstylists are like pinning a giant like teacup onto her head.
oh my God. Or
It's
there's
so
like,
good.
you know, you've probably seen the meme with like the Lolita and like the phone. That's another Alice Deco classic.
Yep, yep, that's Alice. I think that might have honestly been like the next page, if I remember correctly. Alice Deco is so good. Here's the Poupee Girl collab.
And they actually did multiple Poupee Girl collabs, which like it was crazy to me considering how short-lived Alice Deco was. But they were like really good collabs because it was a mix of Lolita items and non-Lolita pieces. And this was also before, so for like an extreme Poupee Girl deep dive that nobody fucking wanted, you know, at some point Poupee, they introduced a feature called Jewels, which is like a paid currency separate from the normal currency. And this was like one of the last collabs before they introduced Jewels. So like you could just get it by like fucking grinding and commenting on everybody's outfits and getting little comments on your outfits. Oh my God, man, I miss.
Uh,
So our next panel is going to be about Poupee Girl.
yeah, the note I put on the slide is literally like this is a slide to make your panel sad, and yep, this is the slide that makes us sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cry now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, panel over. Some other like weird spreads they did, interior decorating advice.
Yeah, it wasn't like a lifestyle mag. Interestingly, I feel like because the GLB sometimes does try to be like a lifestyle magazine. Like it has little features periodically on this is the music Lolita should listen to, this is the food Lolita should eat, these are the places Lolita should shop. And Alice Deco didn't ever really aspire to that. It was just like, hey, you like looking at stuff? I'm going to show you some stuff. But that extended to interiors too, and the interior design is iconic.
This is a shoe that doubles as like a ring like holder. So there's like those little like cushions, so you can like kind of shove your rings in between. Uh,
Yeah.
they also had patterns in DIY. I couldn't find good images of that, but yeah, if like it's pretty easy to find the mook secondhand, so you can like purchase them and
And they were
work with
mostly
them.
like cute accessories and stuff like that. It wasn't like a dress pattern or
Yeah,
something. But
nothing too like large, but
yeah.
they did do stuff like that. They also had a reader's spotlight.
And this was like in the traditional kind of like Japanese street set format of like you would go to the designated photo shoot place on the photo shoot day. And then they would take a little like cute picture of you to put in the magazine. And then they sometimes had features too where you could like send in a photo and be featured. But God, that denim jumper skirt girl has lived, and that's like her coordinate too. This coordinate has lived rent free in my head for over a decade now, in case nobody noticed. But her dress is actually like Liz Lisa, and then she has a little Lolita blouse and these like sheer stripy polka dot socks and like some Mary Janes, like oh, iconic.
So good. There was also a reader's spotlight for French Lolitas at one point. I didn't include it in here because it was during an angelic party tea party. So as you can imagine, all the coordinates were very beautiful, but like not very Alice Deco. But they did actually attempt to reach out to the wider foreign audience for Alice Deco, which is so unfortunate because it does sound like the fifth issue was going to have a lot more of that because they were soliciting like snaps and photos from a lot of people in the live journal community back then.
Yeah. I
I'm
think I
not sure
actually
how.
submitted a snap. You could just send it in. Like they had a post on their on my blog, and it was like, hey, we're looking for reader photos. We want people, internationally. Just send it to this, and they gave you like some specifications, like got to be this size, and you should have like at least one Lolita item, and then you just sent it in.
Yeah, like this one here is like really cute. It's so hard to see. These are photos for ants. I'm sorry, but they're using like a Hello Kitty like bow, like novelty bag, and it's like the cutest extra touch to their outfit. Like there's just so much happening here. This snap right here with a hot pink petticoat and the like kind of corset top. This also lives right in my head. This was one of my favorite, like more frequently snapped Lolitas in this era. Like she showed up a lot in the GLB, and one of her outfits had this exact same top. But it was just really fun, like being able to see more coordinates from her through Alice Deco. I just the reader's spotlight was so much fun. Like definitely everyone was like more focused on like showcasing outfits that they were wearing to go shopping and just do like normal day-to-day things.
Yeah, it felt a lot more, because by this point, the GLB had been going for about 10 years, and it had become very like stylized. Like originally they just wandered around in Harajuku and took street snaps, but by this point they had like designated photo shoot days, and it was kind of becoming, I would say, almost something of like a contest to like out over the top people, even by like 2008 or 2009. And it had become like very polished, very focused on like having, kind of a rare brand full set of some type styled in a very common and popular way. Alice Deco was really a breath of fresh air in contrast.
Gosh, oh, I love
Uh,
them.
this is what I miss the most about like magazines, man.
Just this aspect. I want to do a quick slide on like the effect it had on the English speaking community. There was a live journal community called Daily a la Mode. It's still active, and you can still yes, yes.
Same.
You can still check the posts on there. I loved it. Like I remember when Daily a la Mode started, I like kind of stopped posting to Daily Lolita for a really long time because I was just like everyone was so much more like forthcoming and like just willing to see experimentation and just encourage you to like actually wear your clothes to do everyday things. Whereas like I think Daily Lolita was like a little bit more not like I think they wanted more traditional coordinates basically.
Yeah, I think like if you posted, I remember on Daily Lolita, and I think it still happens today, where like if you posted a certain style of casual coordinate that maybe incorporated brighter colors or mixed patterns, you would be very gently told like, oh, this isn't Lolita, it's a la mode, or it's otome, and you should post this somewhere else. And it like wasn't mean or anything, but it was like, no, I'm wearing a Lolita skirt. It's fucking Lolita. Suck an egg.
This is the precursor to otome. Like I think saying oh it's a la mode it was like the precursor to the oh it's otome like
Yeah,
way
yeah,
to like shoo you away and like go back to posting somewhere else.
yeah. Nodding so hard my head flies off.
Yeah, yeah. Like so if you want to sound like if you want to get the veteran discount, tell someone's casual outfit looks a la mode, and then you really get the veterans discount.
Yeah.
That's
Tell
my
somebody striped socks. Well, no, the real veterans discount is tell somebody their striped socks are a la mode.
oh yeah, yeah. Or like mismatched tights.
Yeah, and I agree. Even if you do that gently, it's still rude. I think it's like very stupid and very gatekeepy. Like especially. But I think that especially in those days, I think the Western Com did tend to be a little gatekeepy because we were like none of us really had like we were just starting to get meaningful access to Japanese brands. And so, a lot of the time, the way that you like showed you were a Lolita is how accurately you could replicate the looks in the GLB, not by how creative and out of the box you were. So,
Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
I love this quote where F. Lolita talked about the magazine, just kind of spotlighting the fact that it was so different from the GLB and it really inspired so many people. gave them a fresh take. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Alice Alice Deco.
Yeah.
So I feel like everyone's wondering what were like spiritual successors to Alice Deco. Honestly, nothing really, but the closest we get is Zipper, especially, and then a little bit over to Kira. The reason why there's nothing quite like Alice Deco after this, or even now, is because Alice Deco was trying to be a Lolita magazine, whereas Zipper and Kira like kind of cover a broader range of styles. But the style, like the type of styling, the mixing of brands is something that Zipper and Keta do very, very well. So I personally prefer Zipper over Keta. Keta is easier to find. They're all out of print, unfortunately, but there's many, many more issues of Keta and Zipper. And to make it especially sad, I picked the final issue covers for both of them, so you can be extra
Yeah.
sad. Like this was the final like published issue of Keta and Zipper, respectively.
So if you want to look at Kira, Megan, who runs Lolita History, has a great selection of their back issues on their website. And Kira predated Alice Deco and ended after Alice Deco did, but especially if you look at Kira's early issues, like before they started the Gothic and Lolita Bible in particular, they do a lot of like mixing kind of older school Lolita items in with like goth and streetwear pieces with like stereotypical like 90s clothes. And it's really fun to see. But I'm with Avina for the later issues, especially. I think Zipper is a lot more fun. They kind of had a more almost like punky edge to a lot of their styling that I just thought was like really cool.
And I think like to kind of give you an idea of like what Zipper was like, I feel like Zipper the style that Zipper spotlighted is what kind of gave Kyari Pamu Pamu's styling the like birth to grow and like hit this wider audience. Like Zipper's styling like is very like wacky and colorful and like similar to like the way her music videos are like. And she was like a pretty common dokumo model for Zipper back then.
I was going to say, actually, you know where Kyari got her start is as a Kara model originally.
That's true. It was a Kara model.
Yeah, she originally was in a Kara Street Snap, and then she became a reader model, and then she kind of graduated to Zipper from there, which is really where she hit it big.
Yeah, that's when her style like really changed to the style that I think she's more known for now, was through Zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think that gives you like an idea of like what to expect when you open up Zipper. Unfortunately, like in terms of like the really awesome like classic Lolita mixing and like the Dolly K stuff, it really only stayed in Alice Deco. Like GLB sometimes would have like your occasional spread. Spoon got like super focused on Angelic Pretty. So it's just like unfortunately I just don't really think that there's anything out there quite like Alice Deco anymore.
Yeah, I really think the best you get is like some of the Spoon and the Soen. Well, the Spoon actually specifically, like some of their AP spreads are actually like surprisingly interesting. Like the covers are usually pretty straightforward, but inside they do a lot of like really interesting mixing. But like the GLB, unfortunately, it is, it's a brand promotional vehicle. And so they often, style items from matching sets together, or it's head to toe one brand, even if it's not like meant to match, it's still like a $700 AP coordinate. So yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, well, so yeah, I'm trying to think, are there any other ones? That's kind of it, huh?
No, yeah, I really can't. I agree, like Spoon has like specific spreads that are like incredible. Like the Tina Tamashiro photo shoot of her like in a park like lives in my mind all the time. Or like the one of her like posing gloomily like in front of an elevator. Great. Like
I was gonna say all the Tina Tamashiro like posing just like in front of a door photos. Love that's the energy I want to put out into the world. Just leaning against a door, head to toe brands. Like, what the fuck am I here for?
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think I don't know. I wasn't gonna say anything. So yeah.
Oh, no.
So how do we? So I guess maybe to do this, we should start with what is like the spirit of Alice Deco. The spirit was combining either like the spreads all had a theme of either this style with Lolita, like the Poupee Girl spread was actually Victorian style with Lolita. Or else it was, how do you take a trend item with Lolita? Like I can't stop thinking about, do you remember the poncho with Lolita spread?
Ponchos.
Yeah. So so that was so like how so Avina and I wanted to share, how would you bring that kind of style mixing or item mixing spirit into the modern day?
Cursed content ahead.
Yeah, sorry, this is going to be like extra cursed. We're really sorry.
Alarm blaring noises.
So yeah, this is the part where it's going to get like extra chaotic.
Totally.
So
So for
so
me, I wanted to theorize what like a modern makeup trend, because like Alice Deco used to take gyaru trends and incorporate it into like Lolita style. I was trying to think of what the closest equivalent in Japan would be when I was putting together this specific spread, and I thought Larm, like Larm magazine, its makeup styles, it's Alarm.
I'm sorry, that was such a good pun. I just
Incredible. That is incredible.
if you got any more dad jokes, drop them in the chat.
Yeah, please.
Literally
Keeps me
begging you.
going. Lifeblood right here. Like I just I I think Larm's hairstyling and like makeup, it has like expanded past just their magazine. Like I see this sort of styling everywhere now, like the see-through bang, the like tousled hair, the pouty like deep red or deep pink lip with like um very little eyeliner and like lots of like focus on just your eyelashes. Like that just seems to be kind of the like hot trend right now in terms of like makeup trends in Japan. Like this is obviously very different. We will go into American trends, don't worry, but but this is what I feel like if like Alice Deco was going to be styling stuff, this is where they would start in terms of like the beauty section.
Yeah, and with Avina, I think this is definitely like this is the 2021 equivalent of what kind of the light gyaru makeup that Alice Deco was doing is. So I think there's no way that they would have passed up Lauren makeup in their styling.
Oh yeah. And these are just kind of trends that I like think Alice Deco would incorporate. I just need an excuse to put this image.
Yeah, you just like that hat.
I this like plushy hat is freaking incredible. Like
I think
but
it's just she literally tied a plushie to her head.
yeah, she did. There's a giraffe over here with a veil over it.
Oh my god.
I love this hat so much. I would be wearing it currently on my person if I could.
Oh my god.
Anyways, I just in plushies are like a really popular motif I'm seeing. Like lots of like little plush accessories, like things that are like soft and tactile. Um, really like big graphic like prints. Tartan is like super big right now. Like these sort of like athleisure kind of vibes are big.
Yeah, so Alice Deco would definitely have a sneakers ex Lolita spread, like in at least 3 issues. And then for the
You
last,
lagged on my end. Do you mind repeating that?
yeah, I was just gonna say that I think sneakers have been like so big this year that they would definitely like, instead of a boots, they had like 3 or 4 like boots with Lolita spread. This year it would be like sneakers with Lolita, absolutely, like all different colors and patterns and styles and everything.
I feel like the famous like Nike Air Lolita that everyone thinks of would have like been
He
at
would have been a
home
reader
in
snap.
Alice Deco. She would have been in one of their reader snaps. They would have given her the cover. Like
I mean, she won
definitely.
all our hearts last year.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. And I've been seeing like a lot more like mixing of kimono into fashion in a way that even though like Lolita has always kind of been a thing, I feel like actually putting physical kimono, not like things that are meant to evoke the feeling of kimono into coordinates has been like really big recently. So I feel like they would totally like, especially for their summer issue, do some fun yukata styling. Like I could see that with Alice Deco. Ooh, Come
Yeah.
on. Oh, there we go. No, I was trying to get it
Oh
to
yeah.
go to the
Okay.
next thing.
Yeah. So this is okay. This is my slide, and it was too chaotic. I was telling Avina, I think, some of, in addition, I think Alice Deco would definitely take a stab at some of the more modern, like Western Instagram trends. There would be like at least one spread about like e-girl like style makeup and accessories with like fishnets and like strappy belts. And I think there would also be a little crossover, because one of the big things of like Larm, at least when the magazine first came out, was incorporating like bondage accessories and like lingerie influences into the fashion. And I think Alice Deco would totally run with that and work like a cute harness or like do a bra over a top or do a bra over a blouse or something like that in their coordinates. And I would be really disappointed not to see it, frankly. And I think somebody else should try it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And to further support this, because I know like some people are like really uncomfortable about this sort of thing, Japanese brands like Eat Me and Bubbles have been kind of incorporating this sort of like soft bondage aspect into like gyaru, larm adjacent kind of styles. So rather than, everything being made with like shiny black leather, they usually are making their belts and buckles with like softer material. So it's like more romantic, but like it still
Yeah.
very much is like supposed to be crisscrossing across your body in a way that it like evokes bondage.
Yeah. Like to use Eat Me as an example, because they're like one of the brands that was like super heavily featured in Larm that has like a bondage influence. They do a lot of like dresses with like what look like bondage harnesses that are made out of like satin ribbon, and they have little like heart shaped, O-rings on them. And so it's like a cute effect. It's obviously bondage inspired, but not, it's meant to be like fashion. It's not gonna, support the titties or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. And like I feel like this is like so big right now, like looking at like Instagram and TikTok trends, like Alice Deco would have picked up on this for sure.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, um, and then, I was going to say, actually, I was going to ask really fast. What's
Oh,
what's your
go ahead.
2020 trend item that you think Alice Deco would do a spread on?
Yeah, I want to know.
No, what's yours? No, I
Oh,
was
what's
asking
mine?
you. No, I
Me?
was
Oh,
asking
I
you.
thought you were asking the chat because I also want
No,
the
I was
chat to
asking
tell me.
you.
Gosh, what's
Well,
mine?
we've got sweatpants with Lolita.
Ooh, I like sweatpants. I kind of touched upon it earlier, but I really love that like athleisure. It's what's the term? It's not cyberpunk. It's like
That kind of like futuristic athleisure like look
yeah, the one with all the the buckles, like they have lots of like plastic buckles and like straps and
and like
gosh,
clear
there's a
vinyl
term for it and it's like slipping my mind right now. It definitely has like punk in the style or like in the name, I think. But
cyberpunk.
I thought it was I don't think it's cyberpunk. Like I think I'm just thinking of that because video games right now are on fire.
Yeah,
But
I think that's yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking like that bright PVC inspire like PVC plastic and like futuristic looking kind of streetwear style.
yeah, like something like that. Like I could totally techwear. That's it, techwear. It randomly, yes, yes, techwear.
Okay, good because I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. So I
uh,
could imagine something like that. I know, like, not to toot my own horn, but like I found like this lavender crop jacket that has like these big like white plastic buckles on it, and I've worn it with Misty Sky before. And it had like these like mesh pockets that carry like nothing, but yeah.
I
Ooh,
love it.
tie-dye trend.
I would actually, so things I would be really interested to see, and please like do this on Instagram and tag me. I'm begging you. Like, I want to see your tie-dye Lolita. And somebody said sweatpants earlier. Like, imagine how cute like a cropped hoodie over like a baby doll dress would be with like super old school styling and like eyelet lace, and then just like a cropped hoodie on top and some sneakers. I would die. So, but I actually, my 2021 trend item, it would actually is the one I'm wearing today. It would be oversized sweaters with Lolita because, like, what's more comfortable than just getting cozy in a weird little novelty sweater that like matches your dress?
I also feel like cottagecore, because it's like so big right now,
Oh,
they would probably revive like a more toned down version of like the Mori Lolita spreads from like
I feel like I accidentally did a toned down cottage core coordinate today. My sweater's got some little like, I don't know if you can see this. It's got like little sheep on it. And then I'm wearing like a dress with little, my dress has like a little floral print and my blouse has some little daisy lace. So,
So cute.
you can catch me out in my garden planting some pumpkin seeds for the fall.
I just have a cursed coordinate with like this lovely floppy retro shoujo bib. That's me. Uh, oh, but yeah, like I think I remember a lot of Japanese brands were like really like nostalgic for previous eras of Japan, especially since they just moved into a new era. Um, so I could see like some tackling of like Lolita by like Japanese era happening too. Like that's another thing. Like
I actually
Showa
would
era Lolita, yes.
actually, okay, the combo I really would want to see, but I don't think anybody else would do is I want to see like Olive and Lolita mashup, but I think that's maybe just me.
Yeah, I think Pig House is like maybe it is also just me, but I feel like I could see them doing something with Pig House, and maybe like if Alice Deco comes back, Poupee Girl has to come back. That's like please make my 2021 wish come true.
um, yeah.
But I realized I didn't give y'all this link to drop in the chat, so I'm going to do that now.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, so Avina has started a Discord community to like reminisce about Alice Deco or share, like literally begging you to share your tie-dye Lolita mashups there. And they'll drop a link in a second. But do you guys have any like questions, concerns, feedback, thoughts, other like creative mashups? Because we have 2 minutes. But yeah, the Discord link's in the chat. Let me know if you guys can't, if you need some help getting it or something like that. I just dropped it in the chat. So you can, and I'll put it up on the screen too so you can see. But yeah, so we will, next time, that'll be the Poupee Girl panel.
Ooh, I would love to do a Poupee Girl panel.
I actually still have, so there was this like application that somebody made before the site closed where you could download your entire Poupee Girl wardrobe. So I still have that. Oh, somebody asked, okay. Somebody asked if we should use Dekorori as the tag to find each other. I think that would be hard because people use that as like a tag for Decora X Lolita mashups. But I know like Avina sometimes tags their posts like Alice Deco. So,
I sometimes do
like,
Alice Deco or even Deco a la mode. I think if you want to tag things like that, we can totally find each other. Because yeah, I would love to like create a community hashtag.
Yeah. So, I mean, and even if it's just like Avina and I, we're in our puffy sweaters and our e-girl makeup. That's fine.
Yeah, like seriously. And one of so I just started moderating membership. So if you are trying to join the Discord, I'll go through and like check everyone's like applications. But I like one of like the big unspoken rules of the Discord is like don't ask if this is okay to wear with Lolita because we will all say it's okay. The challenge is going to be like wearing it. So I just want to see y'all push your limits and like have fun with the style because I think what's important is that these are our clothes to wear as we see fit and we should enjoy it thoroughly in a space that'll give us that room to grow. So yeah.
I think I'm with Avina. Like my take on the fashion is like there's no wrong way to wear it. Sometimes I look back on some of my old cords and it's like maybe it didn't hit the ideal that I had in my head when I thought it up, but it's still cute and I'm still glad that I tried it because even if it didn't work out the way that I thought, I learned something new about how to put my clothes together and that's worth it for me.
Yeah, and like I mean there are some items in my wardrobe that I have worn a countless number of times and that's because of Alice Deco. Like I probably would have only worn those things like maybe 3 or 4 times and moved on, but they're still in my wardrobe and I still give them so much love because I come up with some new weird thing to do with them.
Yeah. So, and really, like, I don't know, I guess maybe this is like probably just like a Simone personal thing, but like the point of fashion is to like have fun and like laugh at yourself, you know? And so it's like, I don't really like, I think some people get very fixated on like, am I doing it right? Do I look good? And it's like, well, like, did it bring a smile to your face? Then yeah, you did it right.
And this is something I always have to remind myself before I post one of my like cursed coordinates, but like if it's making me happy, there's a good chance it makes at least one other person happy. So like I should put this out there. So that's like kind of something that I kind of try to tell myself. And by like everyone's lovely comments, that seems to be true.
Yeah, yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Please join the Discord and let's all like put together some weird chords and like have fun together. Yeah.
Yeah, please join. And if for some reason you're catching this like after hello from the past, just ask in the Bay Area Kei Discord and I'll give an updated invite link because this will
Yeah.
expire in 5 days. I didn't want to do like an infinite link just in case. So yeah, if the link isn't working anymore, just let me know.
Feel free to, if you need the link or anything else, like, or you just want to like reminisce about that coordinate with the yellow boots that's like lived, you know, rent free in both of our heads for 10 years. Feel free to like DM us on Instagram or like message us on Twitter. Like, we're not that mean, I think. I don't know.
If we're mean, it's usually very playful.
Well, we're mean to racists. That's it. Like, we're mean to
Yeah, yeah.
racists and we're mean to Nazis. But like, you know, I don't think anybody cares about
I
that.
will never be mean to someone for wearing yellow boots randomly.
Yeah. So, but anyways, thank you guys for coming. I think we're going to check out now because it's almost time for the next panel. But thank you so much for joining us. And next up, it's going to be EGL Treats putting together some delicious and tasty food. So I'm going to go have some great breakfast.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm ready. Bye.
Bye, guys.